Another just genius, smooth race car driver. He's going to try to take care of tires. He's going to try to make sure the setup works. And if he's just not going to get in a push and shove match this early.
Here comes Labonte on the outside. He's finally found that outside line and can run it. He's up on Waltrip, and it is Terry Labonte in car number 11. He's floating along the outside and has himself third place as Davey Allison continues to close. For more on the Goodyear side of the tire story, here's Bob Barsha.
But Ken, let me answer the question that Dave Despain raised earlier about whether or not there would be enough Goodyear tires to go around if all the teams switched to them for the extent of today's race. The folks from Goodyear say they have almost 700 sets of tires on the premises here in Richmond. That's more than a dozen sets for each of the teams. That shouldn't be a problem. But there's another reason for this. The Hoosiers are still the faster tires, everyone is saying, even though they don't last as long. So everybody is keeping a set of Hoosiers in their pits in case we get a late yellow with about 20 laps to go, say. Everybody will switch, put the Hoosiers back on for the sprint to the checkers.
There you see the tires, and here you see the racing as Earnhardt is still there with 115 laps complete. Number 11 on tracks of less than a mile. This car, number 11, has shared victory this season. Among the winners, he came home at Wilkesboro. Of course, Earnhardt leads. He's had 2 wins this season on tracks of under a mile. At Bristol, Tennessee, and at Martinsville, he has been victorious, leading currently.
I tell you, Bobby Allison's little boy Davey is flying to the front. He has now caught Waltrip, and he's in that group. He's running in 4th place, but he is now just pulled right back up on the tail end of Darrell Waltrip. And this is good, clean racing. They're going high, they're going low. This is one of the best days of racing I've seen. The cars are really competitive and close.
Well, we had a cluttered start. If you're just joining us, a serious crash on the start. Last lap at 112-mile-an-hour average. There you see Waltrip taking another shot at number 11, Terry Labonte, as we review the standings. 2 laps back. The entire field for you. A lot of fans like to know where their individual stars are running, so we'll give you an idea. Meanwhile, look at these front 4. Now, there is Earnhardt being challenged by Terry Labonte on the bottom. The black number 3 taking the attack from number 11 into turn number 1, and Davey Allison is as quick as anything there. Allison forcing the field at this juncture to really stand on it or give ground. Allison is coming in the 28 behind the 3 car leading, the 11, the 17. There is Allison. 4 cars battling for the lead down to the line and into turn 1, and Terry Labonte shoves a little here.
Well, Terry Labonte's an excellent short track racer, and Junior Johnson and Tim Brewer have always prepared one of the best race cars on the racetrack, and I certainly expect Terry to have a good day. Junior, he's been ugly to me all week, and he jerked my tie and broke some buttons, so I hope Flossie's listening at home and will be real ugly to Junior when he gets home.
Threw you right over the hood this morning.
Yeah, he did.
I'm impressed. He's still a strong fellow.
Yeah, I'll say. Flossie's been ugly.
Yeah. Well, the reason, what was the reason?
He just said he didn't like me in a tie.
Car number 3, Earnhardt in front. Here's car number 28, Allison, rim right. Now look at him dive as they duck him 4 wide into the main straightaway for just a moment. Incredible racing here.
Are we at Michigan or is this Richmond? I'm telling you, they're going 3 wide, 4 wide. Paul Sawyer's come up with him a racetrack, buddy.
Davey Allison now trying to show what that Ford can do. Here he comes.
Bill Elliott just slowed dramatically on the backstretch, got together with someone.
Look at this slugfest up in front. Earnhardt in front. Here's Davey Allison in second. Carrying on like his dad here at Richmond. Goes to the inside. Sneaks a peek, and for sure that car will go to the bottom of the racetrack. And that is the secret here, how well you can work right down low. Right up against that very treacherous-looking 4th turn wall. Davey's right there, low on the racetrack. Here he is back into turn number 1.
You know, the thing that impresses me is that this looks so much like a super speedway. Not only in terms of the shape of the track, it's a D like Daytona, Talladega, not only because of the banking, which is certainly more pronounced than it was here a year ago. Here's Allison caught behind the slower Eddie Bierschwell, and that's going to let Earnhardt squirt back out in front. But the style of driving, remember the old Richmond? It was perfectly flat. You ran hard down the straightaway, and then you jammed on the brakes, ducked down to the inside, had to cover the bottom of the racetrack. There was no room to move up top. This is totally different competition. The track is only a quarter mile longer, but with the speeds that they're running here, they're running over 120 miles an hour out there in qualifying, racing at about 117. Allison racing faster as he works the inside of Earnhardt. But this really does look like the best possible combination of short track and super speedway. And you called it, Johnny. Paul Sawyer has just conceived a bit of genius here. This is a great racetrack.
126 laps complete as Davey Allison in the last 3 laps has driven magnificently on the bottom, and he is pulled by Dale Earnhardt. And here comes Waltrip as the front 4 continue to be gathered up with Ricky Rudd back there in 5th. Alan Kulwicki in the 6th position. Currently in 7th is Mark Martin. Bill Elliott struggling a bit at this point in the race in 9th, and up to 10th is Bill Parsons, with 10th Greg Sachs, and 11th belonging to Brett Bodine. We'll be back with more of the action at the Richmond Fairgrounds in this 400-lapper in a moment. We're back with you once again at the Richmond Fairgrounds with 132 laps complete. Davey Allison out in front, just whomping on everybody here, putting a lap on car number 44, Sterling Marlin. The real battle is for second place. There you see Darrell Waltrip in the 17, and following him comes car number 11, Terry Labonte. Sliding back to the field is Earnhardt. Ricky Rudd is charging on Earnhardt right now for the 4th position. The green car on the bottom is the Kenny Bernstein car, and look at him travel. Ricky Rudd, who looks like he has serious intentions about this event. Ricky Rudd on the bottom side out of Chesapeake, Virginia, just about 100 miles from here. This is his home track, and there's some extra fans here today to cheer on Ricky Rudd, whose father and sisters and brothers first brought him into racing right in this part of the country. Virginia, one of the great racing states. They say more tickets are sold for events like Charlotte and Daytona out of Virginia than any other state in the Union, and now they have a great facility of their own. Here's Bob Barsham.
Well, we kind of lost track of Davey Allison and all those early melees that opened this race. Now he's leading. Robert Yates tunes that race car. Robert, how come Davey's looking so good right now?
Well, I'd like to say that it was Tony Price and his chassis work and Raymond Fox and all the engine guys that's making the car work so well, but I got a feeling it's a lot because of Davey's dad. Talked to Davey yesterday, and Davey's so pumped up. His father's feeling good. He gave it to me to start the race, and Davey wants to win it.
How about your Goodyear tire situation? What's Davey running and why?
Well, everybody's on the hard compound that Goodyear has here is safe, and we feel real good about it. We're not really, there's nobody out there I don't think we have to race with on Hoosiers. If it came down to 10 laps, there might be some tough decisions to make in, but right now it's a good race. Everybody on the same tire, and just hope we can win it.
Thanks a lot, Robert. Let's go back to Dave Despang.
It's always a good race when you're pulling away from the field. That's what Davey Allison is doing right now. It is not such a good race for the two guys who, for a while early today, looked like they were in the driver's seat in terms of the championship hunt. Dale Earnhardt had been up there in the position we see Davey Allison occupying now. He slipped back to 4th, and Bill Elliott is really struggling. 9th at last report. Keep in mind, it was only 30-40 laps ago that Earnhardt and Elliott were running 1-2 and pulling away from the field. Now they're both slipping badly, and from the Mark Martin car, we see Elliott. Car looks stable on the racetrack, but he's just not getting around quickly enough to move up and challenge the championship rival, Dale Earnhardt. So that's going to be interesting to watch. And Johnny, I think maybe you hit on it. We're seeing a little of the old Richmond here. A guy gets a combination, goes fast. Another guy loses the combination and backs up. That's a very familiar pattern here at Richmond.
139 laps are complete, John, and that combination right now has Mark Martin on the bottom of the racetrack in the car number 6, trying for 7th spot on Bill Elliott.
Well, I think that Bill's tires are probably going to weigh a little bit. You know, we're counting Dale and Bill out a little early. We're not even 140 laps into the race, and it's just one minor adjustment. They're probably 5 seconds behind the leader. So these guys, they're taking care of the race car, and when the race car starts going away, they're just going to drive it smooth, and they're not going to race anybody real hard, and they've got plenty of time to get this thing straightened out.
140 laps of 400 now complete. There have been 4 cautions today, 8 lead changes among 5 drivers as Davey Allison continues to lead, and we watch Bill Elliott here in car number 9, able to persevere over Mark Martin in that 7th position. Here's the leader, Davey Allison. And that Ford looking very strong at this point in this Richmond 400 on this brand new racetrack. Down across the start-finish line to tuck another lap into the record book goes number 28.